Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to episode number 135, in which we're going to talk about isovalent events. I'm really looking forward to this episode because there's a lot of really great stuff coming up. And I just wanted to make sure that y'all know that we're out there doing stuff, having a great time, and that we would love to see you at any number of our events and kind of dig into all of that. So first off, let's get into the news. Let me go up to my HackMD. Give me just a minute here. I'll share my screen. If you're out there, say hello. Always nice to know that you're out there. Here, this will be episode 35. Okay. So as usual, you can reach the notes. And in this particular episode, that might be useful because the notes have a lot of really great links, a lot of really great content. And they, I think they might be kind of relevant to you. So if you are curious about how to get the notes, I don't know why the frame is off. Let me turn that on. Where's that at? Boop. There we go. All right. So down here in the lower right-hand corner, hackmd.io/@echo-live, and you can look for episode number 135, and that is where you will find this particular document that I have just created. All righty. Jump into what's happening. I think the CSP for KubeCon is still open, if I remember correctly. Okay, 2024. If you have not submitted a talk, do consider doing so. Call for proposals. You have until June 9th at 11:59 Mountain Time to get it in there. So you've got a little bit more time, but just about a month left to get your talk in to KubeCon North America. Make sure you get those in there. There's also going to be an eBPF Cilium day there, and if you'd like to submit to that, that will also be available. There are lots of KCDs happening, and I think I linked to this before, but if you're curious about where KCDs are happening, this is a map of the world where KCDs are happening. And if you wanted to participate in any of them, if you click on any of them, they will take you to the particular area in specific that you would be looking at. So there is one coming up in New York. And as an example, if I click on New York, it will take me to the KCD page for this, where I can acquire tickets for the upcoming KCD in New York. And then also there's a link there to the main website. And the main website will host information about the agenda. So excuse me on the feed. No? Okay. Whew. So we'll have information about the agenda, which is the schedule, of course. Lots of great stuff coming up. My good friend Ahmed, who is working at New York Times, he is one of the organizers and the genesis of this whole crazy thing. So he's going to be doing this at New York. He's going to be the opening and welcome remarks, followed by the pun meister himself, Taylor Dolezal, and then Lucas Chatil talking about some good stuff about Flash Labs. Karina Angel, who is working at Red Hat, is going to be talking about observability in the next decade beyond reactive response. I mean, firefighters are one thing, but man, it's a lot of work to firefight all the time. How do we actually get a little bit more proactive around this stuff? So if you want to see some of these wonderful talks, definitely check it out. We have Fawad speaking from Czech, and then we have Stephen Augustus, my good friend, joining us from Cisco, talking about releasing a more mature and stable Kubernetes. We have Michelle Jackson from Palo Alto Networks, and then we have our first break, and then we jump into a bunch more really great talks. I'm not going to enumerate each one, but there's going to be a lot of really great stuff. My friend Lynn's son will be there, is also from Solo.io. So lots of really great folks coming up to give us a good overview. It's going to be a full day, lots of talks, lots of excitement. Please come join in New York if you're going to be there. I would love to see you there. Who has joined us? Hello, welcome, Alexander. Glad to see you here. So that's how you find out about KCDs, and that's how specifically the crazy awesome information about KCD New York, which is coming right up in 11 days. I will be in New York for that. Would love to see you there. The news of the week. Let's just go hit it real quick. Again, like you can always sign up for this newsletter at cilium.io/newsletter. And look at the most recent one, which is on May 7th. Is that right? Yeah. And there is a new book that we just released called Kubernetes Networking and Cilium for the Network Engineer. Definitely check that out. I believe it is a free download, but lots of really great stuff in there, produced by our good friend, Mr. Nico Bieber. If you haven't seen his Twitter, announcing it, it's definitely a hilarious one. I don't know. Yeah, he did. He linked it right here. So definitely check out Nautical Nico on the announcement for the book. That's just such amazing stuff. It's going to be really good. And we have benchmark results of Kubernetes network plugins from I think this is another third party doing this work. And then I think it's actually that's awesome news, like Cilium is the primary choice. As is published by IT Next. Looking at the different CNIs, walking through like what they do. Yeah, a really great article here. Netcomp eBPF and the importance of kernel system call filtering. It's really great stuff. Why does it? Oh, why you should avoid user space. I thought it said this space, but I was like, what? How to manage XCP and eBPF effectively for better DDoS protection. eBPF user ring buffer if using BPF map type user rings. Well, and Cilium network policies. Somebody else diving into the depth of Cilium network policies. Great stuff by Kareem El Jamali. So this gets into some of the specific direct of Cilium network policy. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, good write-up there. We get, I've actually just recorded this one, which is the Detect XG Utils TV Detecticon. It looks like a third-party also did it, which is pretty great. And we have exploring eBPF implementation through the web search code. And then lots of stuff happening in the ecosystem. Isolated Enterprise for Tetragon 113, Kubernetes Aware network policies, all of that stuff. We actually did just announce what's new in ICML Cilium 115, and also a virtual workshop coming up on May 30th, which will have a lot of really great stuff. I highly recommend, if you're interested in understanding what we've been up to with ICML Cilium Enterprise or ICML Enterprise for Cilium, definitely come check out the webinar. It'll be on May 30th, 7 a.m. PST and 1600 CEST. So if you want to check that out, definitely check it out. There's a new lab, the multicast lab, and the egress gateway lab has been updated. Lots of great stuff in there. We're going to be hearing from Roland and Amit. As always, if you want to check out the labs, the new labs that are available, you just go to isolation.com/labs, and you should be able to see any new labs that are available here. So here's the Isobelic Enterprise for Cilium Multicast. The newer updated version of the Cilium egress gateway, the updated version of getting started with Cilium, and the updated version of getting started with eBPF. Lots of great stuff in there. All right. Ditch a few of these tabs. Definitely come check those out though, if you would like to learn more about what's happening in 115. Next up in our notes. Puddle Toronto. It actually just happened. It's not. I'm just saying that it has happened. It was hosted by some of my amazing friends, Mr. Marino, Leanne, so many awesome folks. If you want to learn more about Puddle, you can actually click on it here, and then click on the actual image, and it will give you a view into what's actually happening, who the hosts are, all the crazy work that goes into this. Here are some of the amazing speakers, including our own Christine Kim. I didn't expect that to take me to a LinkedIn, but Christine Kim is one of our developer advocates. We had Karen up there. James McShane was there. So many great folks. Leanne Lee, Mark Borstein, just awesome folks up there at Puddle. It's really kind of up and coming conference, and I think it really has a lot of really great stuff to share. So the talk that we had in at Puddle was a talk by Christine. It's a lightning talk, and have you heard about Kubernetes Gateway API? If you aren't familiar how to use it, this is a really interesting one. There's a new tool that Christine's been working on, and also the community's been working on, called Ingress to Gateway, which takes an ingress object that you created and outputs a Gateway API implementation of that same object, which is pretty neat. There was also a live broadcast of a mental health panel recording, which I definitely recommend you check out because it has so many awesome folks in it. It has Marino, Leanne, and several other folks involved in it. It was basically co-broadcast with the Geeking Out podcast. But yeah, really great stuff. And mental health is important. And if you're feeling burnt out, or if you just want strategies, or even just to hear other people talking about the problems that you have, definitely check out that live mental health panel recording. I find that that's actually coming up more and more at different events, and I think it's really good because, we really definitely need to spend a little time, kind of acknowledging that some of this, all of this is very overwhelming. The world in general, it's actually almost nothing to do with tech, right? There's just so much happening in our day-to-day lives and in our desires to, further ourselves and further our goals, and it can be wildly overwhelming. So definitely check that out. I've already mentioned the Cilium 115 virtual workshop. That's the very next event that's coming up. After that, we have Microsoft Build. We will be there. If you'd like to come say hello to us, definitely come check it out. It'll be in Seattle, May 21 through May 23rd. We are going to be in another KCD in Istanbul, and an AWS Community Day in Turkey. So that should be a lot of fun if you're over there. Liz Wrights will be there. We'll be there talking. We also have Engine from the community talking. Lots of really great stuff happening in the AWS Community Day. We have Container Security Day in Berlin. I really like this one. This is a good one by Jeremy Colvin, who's going to be presenting on adventures in the kernel using eBPF and Tetragon for runtime visibility. We're going to be at a couple of these container days. The Container Day Security one is the one that we're talking about here, but there are several others. Let me take you to a place where you can see all of the events that are coming up. If you go to isabel.com/events, this is a list of all of our events that are coming up. Going to be a DevOps Day in Berlin. Actually, I think that also just ended. That was the 7th and the 8th. KCD New York, Container Day Security, the What's New in 115, and then we have a confidence conference that is going to be pretty neat. And we're going to be talking about threat modeling at the scale of Allegro from stride to success, leveraging some of the awesome tooling that Tetragon provides. We have Cisco Live happening 2 June to 6 June in Las Vegas, United States. That should be pretty awesome. Lots of great stuff happening there. We have KCD Zurich Rejects, sponsoring the Zurich Rejects. Happy to meet you there in Switzerland and discuss everything about the Cilium, eBPF, and Tetragon. We have Mastering Observability. We have another one that I actually just got to talk into. I'm super excited about this. Let's see where it is. Thought that it would. Yeah, see schedule. Check this out. I'm excited. I got to talk in with the tutorial, and the talk is Sailing the Security Seas with Tetragon. So I'm super excited about this one. In this tutorial, we'll cover how to get started with Tetragon, show how to use the Tetra CLI to filter and examine interesting events at runtime, and shore up our ship against borders. Come prepared to this tutorial with a laptop. We will be using Instruct to explore. So lots of great stuff. It's about an hour and a half, so it should have lots of really great detail. We should have a really great time together. I hope that you're going to be there, because if you are, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. I know that we're also going to be hosting a high find event. And so definitely come check it out and be a part of that with us. Other stuff coming up. We have StackConf in Berlin, Germany. I mean, one of the great things about working at iSurveillance is that we have people all over the world that are involved in these events. And so you can see like the number of events that we're associating. It's like from the UK to Germany to like anywhere else in the world, Turkey, Istanbul, etc., etc. Just lots of really great folks all over the world here to talk about eBPF, Cilium, and all the other great stuff happening. We have a community days coming up in Denmark. And of course, we have KubeCon NA coming up in September, actually in November. But just lots of really great stuff happening out there. Yeah, I think that is a pretty good overview of everything that's happening in the world, or all of the events that are coming up. And then, of course, we also talked about our new labs. So definitely check out the new labs. Definitely check out the events. There's so many things happening. I'm just really looking forward to all of this stuff. As always, if you ever want to submit a talk to any of the events that we're going to be at, or that are out there, and you are a first-time submitter to a talk and you'd like some help, definitely come check out. Reach out on X or in Slack or something like that, and if I can help, I'm super happy to do so. I think, my friends, that is all there is to this episode this week. It's going to be a short one, but we're coming into a long weekend. And so I hope that y'all have a great weekend. But I wanted to share with you all of the happenings that are coming up for iSurveillance and for all of the great stuff. The virtual workshop is coming right up. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. And I know that I'm speaking for all of iSurveillance when I say we're really looking forward to seeing you at these events. And I'm just more positive than ever about like what we're going to be doing together. So really looking forward to seeing you at the next one. And I hope that you have a great weekend. And I'll see you next time. I'll see you later.